Hi, I'm Mark from L&M Small Engine. Today we working on a John Deere zero-turn Z425 lawnmower. He brought it in. I'll let you listen to the motor. He brought it in. It sounded like it's a twin-cylinder Briggs. Sounded like it was only running one cylinder. I started up a little bit ago, and it just seems like it's just choking itself out. So I'm gonna start the motor here and let you hear it. Then we're gonna tear it apart. See if we can't fix it. So hope you enjoy the video. Man, this thing sounds like an antique tractor when it's running. And I got the throttle all the way down. It's not even in the choke position. You put it in the choke and it dies. So I don't know, maybe if the float is stuck in the carburetor or what. But first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna take this cover off, take everything off to get to the carburetor, and we'll check the carburetor first. Okay, first we're gonna take this left console off that has the key switch and throttle out. We're gonna take this off so we have room to get to the carburetor on the motor. There's two bolts in back. There's one right here, and there's one in the front here. Okay, we'll move that out of the way a little bit. Then we're gonna take this back top off here, give us some more room. Then we got a little plate above the muffler here. We gotta take off too. And this is a Briggs in this. We're gonna take the top cover off the motor so we can get the carburetor off. You really don't have to take this back cover off, but I like having more room in there, and it's really simple to pop off of there. Then we gotta take this little heat shield thing off. It's a 10mm bolt over here, and a 5/8 over here. And the shield. No, we gotta take one more bolt out down there. That's a 1/2 inch. There we go. Should be able to pop it off now. Okay. Now we'll take the air filter cover off. And there's 2 1/4 inch screws on top there. We're going to pop them off. I'm using another tray to put all the bolts and stuff with the cover off the motor here. Then I'm going to take the fuel pump off that shroud. That's a 5/16. It's a lot easier taking this off and unhooking all the hoses. That just slides away from there. Take that cover off. We have to take these 4 5/16 bolts off that top protective cover. Grab the right tools here. There we go. Now we have to take we won't take them off, but we'll take them part way out. 3/8 inch bolts on the side. There's 2 on each side and 2 in the back. Loosen up the ways and the cover will just slide up. We can reach a few with the air wrench, but the 2 back ones we'll have to use a regular wrench on them. So be kind of noisy here for a second using this air wrench, but just take them out like halfway. And the 2 in the back, we're going to have to use a wrench because there's not enough room for this in there. And there's one back here, and we should be able to slide it off. And there we go. Now we can get to the carburetor. And when we have that cover off, sometimes mice build like little nests on top of these cylinders. It's always good to get them all cleaned out. This one here is nice and clean. So the next step, we'll take the carburetor off next. Okay, now we're going to take that fuel line off. We'll pop that clamp off. You kind of rock the fuel line back and forth to break it loose. And if they're hard or cracked, it's a good time to replace them. And there's a fuel shutoff solenoid on the bowl of the carburetor with 2 wires and a plastic plug under there. Pop that off. Then we have 2 bolts over here and 2 on this side here, and that's a 3/8. Or you can use a torque wrench. There's a torque wrench head on the center of them too. To get a little bit longer extension on that. Getting that bowl of the carburetor there. Go this side and see what I'm doing. Now we gotta unhook the governor linkage here. And the choke just pops out of there. And there's a little vent hose on the back. Pop that out there. There's like a little hook It just goes in this little slot right here. So now we got the carburetor off. Let's go take it to the bench and tear it apart and see if that's our problem, why it's running like that. So that'll be our next step. Okay, this carburetor is like really dirty and stuff, so I'm gonna take the carburetor cleaner and clean it off before I start tearing it apart. Try to get a lot of that dirt off that I can. Just caked on there. This carburetor's probably never come off of this engine since it was new. Blow it off a little bit here. Still dirty, but it's a lot cleaner than it was. So there's 4 nuts on the back. They're 7/16. We'll pop them off. Oh, we take that cover off there. Then we gotta take these 4 bolts out. It's like a Torx. So loosen them up a little bit. I'm gonna try taking that gasket off without ripping it. If we rip it, I'll have to put a new gasket on there. If you need to get a kit, they come with them. But we're just taking this apart to see why this thing is running so rough. There we go. I'll just slide this off. It's still in good shape. It's not tore or nothing, just a bit on the dirty side. I'm gonna pop these. Bolts out here. Okay. As you can see from this side here, that's just old gas. All that yellow sticky stuff, more than likely that's ethanol being used. But for this automatic choke lever, we're going to go ahead and pop that out so we don't lose it. This side here, that's your throttle linkage. We can go ahead and take that out too. So we're going to take this bowl off next. That's a Phillips. Sometimes they're stuck on there pretty good, so we might have to use that impact screwdriver on it, but we'll see. See if we can get it off. Well, this definitely is going to need a good cleaning. That yellow stuff is just stickier than all get out. Gonna have to use a impact on that. First, I'm going to try with the big flathead because it's a universal. It's either a flat standard screwdriver or a Phillips. But I don't want to ruin them Phillips head on there. So we'll try this first. Okay, we broke that one loose. See that sticky stuff right there? That just, it's almost like molasses or something. What's that old gas? There, we got them broke loose. Now I can just use a Phillips now to take them off. Then if you want, before you take this off, you can use like a screwdriver or something. And kind of scratch here down to here so you know which way it goes on, you know. It can be turned. If you do it the other way, the float and stuff might not sit in there right. So if you do it this way, you know you're going to get it on the right way every time. And you can see that's all that sticky substance all over it. So we're just going to give this thing a good cleaning. And here are your two main jets. Right here. This O-ring right here, that's it. Grab a screwdriver here. This O-ring right here, that's what holds them in place so that brass jets don't pop out of there, because with this out, them two jets could fall out and you definitely don't want to lose them. And these are stuck. They can pop out of there. In fact, I'm going to take them out now so I don't lose them when I boil it out. There they are right there. You definitely don't want to lose them. So we'll set them off to the side and we'll clean them in a little bit. We'll go ahead and take this bowl gasket off. As long as they're in good shape, you can reuse it. I'm going to pop this pin out. You get that float out of there, then we're going to go ahead and boil this thing out. This is in really bad shape for being all sticky and dirty. And there's like a flat side on this side and a round side on this side. So just pop it out that way. That flat side kind of gets stuck in there, so it don't work its way out. Slide that pin out. Take your needle out. You can see it's all green and slimy there. That's that ethanol gas. So let's go ahead and stick this in the boiler. I'm just going to leave these gaskets on there right now because they're stuck under. They might fall off when I clean them in this throttle it to just like glue it. You know, barely turn it. It's supposed to be free. You're supposed to flop them around really easy. So let's go ahead and get this cleaned up and put together and put it back on. See if we can't get that thing running. I'm gonna put this in the ultrasonic boiler, but if you don't have access to one of them, this carburetor cleaner dipping solution works good. I've used that for years until I just recently could afford to buy this ultrasonic boiler. And if your carburetors ain't that dirty, a can of regular carburetor cleaner, any brand name, but any kind of carburetor cleaner works good too. But okay, I'll go ahead and put this stuff in the solution here. Yeah, once I could afford this thing here, this is like the best, one of the best things I invested in. I'll go ahead and take that dirty thing, stick it in there too, and put our lid on. We're gonna probably do this one probably 20-25 minutes. Should come out like brand new, I hope. So we'll check it out when it's done. Okay, we got it boiled out. You can see what a difference that made. Big difference. So anyways, when you get them out of your boiler, clean them up, make sure all the holes are all open, and you got a couple holes here and a couple holes here. Make sure all that's nice and clean. And we'll go ahead and put this top cover back on the top before we get to work on the bottom. Just make sure everything where gas or air goes in these carburetors is nice and clean. Make sure them are all nice and tight because the gas gun it seals it up. And I'm gonna go ahead and reuse this bowl gasket because it's not torn or nothing. But I am gonna put a new needle in there, and this is a 44 cubic inch Briggs, and you need to order like a carburetor kit or a needle and seat and stuff. The model number and everything's opposite the side of the fuel pump, and this one here is a model 44. That's a 44 cubic inch. That's a real common engine in riders. And that O-ring, that's in really good shape too, so we're just gonna plop that down on that. And we'll put our new needle in there. And we'll go ahead and put our pin in here. Make sure everything's working freely and everything. Now them jets, There's a little hole in the center there. Make sure that's clean. Just spray some carburetor cleaner through there or something. Make sure you have a nice stream coming out the other side. And they go in here like a little O-ring on them that kind of goes in there, but that piece right there, that's what holds them in place. And definitely don't lose these. And there we go there. Now we can put the bowl on there. And I made that mark on there. A little etch right there. And there it is right there. You have to press it on there because that O-ring on there, slide over that O-ring. You know, make these nice and tight. You just seal it by that O-ring where the jets are, and it seals up the bowl from the carburetor. Okay, now we can put our linkages on. And on the throttle linkage, it has like this little loop-de-loo on one side, and that curve, that's what goes on your governor. So just kind of wiggle it in there and screw it around like so. That's so much better. Before, these would hardly even open. Then the other side, that's for your choke. There's two holes here. Put in there, and so that pops right in that automatic choke lever on the governor assembly. So now I'm going to put it back on the intake here. So set that in there like that. Put them 4 bolts in there. Okay, before we snug them down, make sure our linkages are all good and everything. Now we can go ahead and tighten them down. Let's put that gasket on it that we took off. It's still in good shape. It's not tore, so we can still use it. Put our cover on for the air filter. Now we can go ahead and tighten them up. I'm gonna blow some of that excess dirt off there. I guess I should have done that at the beginning, but I'll do that and we can go ahead and reassemble this back to the motor. Okay, we're back over at the lawnmower here. When they first brought this in, it sounded like it was running on one cylinder, and I got to thinking that sticky stuff that was in the intake and stuff is kind of sticky in here too. So one of the rods on the push rod or the valve, the rod on the valve might be sticking. So what I did, I sprayed a little bit of carburetor cleaner in both of these. And we put this carburetor on, and if it runs halfway decent, but only run on one side or still popping and banging, we'll probably have to take that head off and clean all the scum off the valve stems. But we'll do this first. When I brought it in the shop, it was barely even running. So this little loop-de-loo right here, that goes in that hole right here. We'll hook that up first. Okay. Get that line up. I'm going to start a bolt or two before I put that choke linkage on. And there's a little rod with the little plastic. You won't be able to see it with the camera, but you just pop it in that hole and it'll click. Just pop it in there like that. And I'll get these bottom bolts started. I'm gonna go ahead and tighten that up. We gotta plug in that fuel shut-off solenoid too. Then before we put the cover and everything back on, I'm gonna start it up. I'm not gonna let it run very long because that cover helps cool the cylinder. That's what these fans on top of the flywheel are for. It blows air down on the cylinders. So I'm just gonna start up, see what it sounds like. If it sounds like it's still running one cylinder, we'll take the temperature of the exhaust on each side and see what side runs cooler, and that's the side where the valve is more than likely sticking. So we'll do one step at a time. Need smaller hands for this. Getting that one side in. There we go. Make sure them are nice and tight too. Okay, now we gotta hook up that solenoid wire. The fuel shut off solenoid. Click it in place. I'm gonna hook up the fuel line. I'm gonna try start here real quick and see what it sounds like. Put that clamp on. Okay, like I said, I'm not gonna run it very long because I don't want to overheat the cylinders. But we'll see what it sounds like. Okay, let's start this thing up, see what it does. Double check everything. There's a little bit of carburetor cleaner in there. See how it sounds now. Sounds a lot better now. Lots better. Okay, let's go ahead and put that cover back on it. Slide it all down into place. Then we'll go ahead and tighten them bolts on the side. We got the two in the back we have to use the wrench on. And we pull it in there. Barely even run. So that's a good sign. Okay, now we gotta bolt the fuel pump on there and okay, I gotta put them two screws in here that go up on top. That takes a 1/4 inch. Okay. Getting a little bit closer here. Make sure the air filter is nice and clean. If it's really bad, replace it. Let's put that protective cover over the fan blades here. Get the holes all lined up. And I'll put that cover on top of that. That just snaps into place. Let's put that exhaust pipe guard back on it. Like so. And I'll put that big nut on here. And there's that 10 millimeter that goes up on top here. And we'll get all them tightened down. I'll grab that washer and nut that go on the bottom of this bolt. Okay. Now we can put that console back on. It's a lot easier taking them off than they are putting them on. Grab a hammer here. There we go. Put a nut on there. Put a nut on there. And we'll put these 2 bolts in the back here. And I'll go ahead and tighten these up here. Grab the wrench. Now we put that cover back on. Okay, I'll open up the garage door and we'll start this thing up. See how it runs. Got the brake on it. Give it some throttle. Boy, it sounds so much better. Yeah, you know, gas is kind of expensive nowadays, but premium gas is probably the best thing to put in these small engines nowadays. Like that ethanol, it sits for a while and it just gets everything all gummy and stuff, and that's why I wasn't running right. So anyways, I appreciate you watching the video. Thanks for watching. If you do like these videos, please like and subscribe. Thanks for watching. Have a good day.